Me to grace your sanctuary. It is truly an honor to be here, particularly in this month that we're in. It is the month of Pride. Again, my name is Lonzo Smith. I have the fortunate opportunity to be the president of Augusta Pride. I also work at Georgia Military College and the admissions office and an adjunct instructor. What I want to talk to you today is about tolerance and pride, and these are just my musings on what tolerance means to me and what pride means to me, and how I sort of see these two are intertwined together. We live in a world where we are often told that we must show tolerance for one another, and we have come to accept this as the standard of an enlightened mind. I believe that there is a fallacy that tolerance is neutrality, the land of impartiality, the land of no judgments, allowing all to take a neutral posture toward another's conviction. According to Webster, the word tolerate means to permit, to allow, to recognize, to put up with something that we might not necessarily like. We don't tolerate people who share our views. We don't tolerate people who share our views. Tolerance is reserved for those things and people that we think are wrong. We can't tolerate someone unless we disagree with them. I will tolerate a pebble in my shoe until I can remove it. I will tolerate a mosquito, a sloppy car wash, and maybe even the weather. Too often, what passes for tolerance is intellectual cowardice. It allows a person to exist in neutrality and not venture into intelligent engagement. Why are so many people unwilling to be challenged by alternate points of view? Because this would require two disagreeing parties to exist in the same space together. We in this world take great pride in our ability to civilize ourselves, to behave civilly, to coexist and to live in peace. However, I think it is a major mistake to confuse the quest for peace and tolerance as the quest for acceptance. To not function from intellectual cowardice, we must be willing to open ourselves to the fact that we might be wrong. And that's scary for some of us, to think that we might be wrong. Our long-held beliefs might be challenged and we might be wrong. To stand in the pursuit of truth, we cannot hold unto unchallenged beliefs. Being tolerant requires nothing of you but to be quiet, to not make waves. You must move into uncomfortable territory. You must stretch yourself in order to understand each other. When people use the word tolerance, it is often in contrast with something negative, and this allows you to return to a world where you're adhering to social convictions. You appear enlightened, but you're intellectually a coward. Tolerance is your remedy to deal with something that you are in opposition to. So is tolerance enough? Is it possible to love someone who is fundamentally different from us? Is it possible to love someone we tolerate? Do we love a mosquito? When someone tells me they tolerate me, I feel unloved. I feel I'm not worthy. I feel I'm not equal. I have been thingified. But teaching tolerance and saying that we're tolerant is easier and is faster. You've created a cognitive bias. You're dealing from a position of bias. You've created a shortcut in a way that you are able to make judgments about people, places, and things that do not challenge you. It allows you to exist in a position of comfort. When someone uses the word tolerance to describe social acceptance, they are essentially determining who has the right to and who should be allowed to live peacefully. A tolerant person will appear courteous, but they don't believe all views have equal worth or merit. It is an act of indulgence rather than an act of acceptance. Will a tolerant person forcefully advocate for you? Will a tolerant person truly become your ally? Will a tolerant person be indifferent to your struggle? Will a tolerant person be indifferent to your struggle? Acceptance is a relationship. It is a choice. It should not be stagnant. It requires work. As children, we are often told that we are unique and special, and all the things that make us these great beings should be embraced and enjoyed, because that's what's going to give us the joy in our life. So why, as we get older, do we want people not to be too different from us? So what does this have to do with pride that's coming up? 2011, 2012, a friend of mine who has become a friend, Dr. David Stepp, started pressuring me to become a part of Augusta Pride. My partner of 20 years, who is no longer with us, knew that this was something that was on my heart that I wanted to do. Little did I know that a few short months after joining Pride, that my world would change and Dan would leave this earth. I remember the very first meeting that I attended after Dan's passing. What the members of that board and committee did not know, that at that particular time I was prepared to blow up my life, to completely change everything about it, because I felt I had nothing left. I felt alone, I felt empty, I felt lost, I felt I had no place left to call my home. But each member of that board and the community, they helped me carry my burden. They brought me food. They let me be weak. They let me cry. They protected me when I could not protect myself. They gave me a home. So at the core of what Pride does, it provides that sanctuary and home for people who feel they have no sanctuary or home. So when you think of Pride, I want you to remember the lost man, the young man who wrote on our banner that he finally felt that he was authentic and he could tell his truth and live authentically. To the person who walked up to me and said, I did not know that this was going on. I stumbled. I was planning to end my life, but I feel so much joy right now that I can go on. What we do with Pride is not easy, but it is a labor of love. And we celebrate Pride because diversity is a gift. It's a celebration that makes all queer-identified folk unique and marvelous. These gifts are inherent to us, and they cannot be changed. They are who we are. So we celebrate Pride to honor 3 a.m., June 28th, 1969, the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village. Our voices rose through Marsha Johnson, Sylvia Rivera, Virginia Apazzo, Martin Boyce, Raymond Castro, Danny Garvin, William Henderson, Jerry Hoos, Carl Keller, Tommy Langland Schmidt, Dick Leish, John O'Brien, Electra O'Mara, Yvonne Ritter, just to name a few of the giants on whose shoulders we stand and who have handed us the baton. At the essence, Pride is a humanizing celebration. Too often, public discourse silences and shames queer-identified people from proclaiming who we are. We are tolerated into silence. Pride is about spreading hope that not only can things get better, but we will continue to work to make sure things are better. We won't forget the battles, we won't forget the lives lost, and we won't forget the pain suffered. Pride matters because in a world built on straight privilege, it is okay to say that you can live your life authentically. Pride matters because we no longer want to exist in the shadows of tolerance. Pride matters because we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. Pride matters because we are the people. It is important to understand the difference between tolerance and acceptance, accepting the idea that something and someone different can contribute to this world. We can hit mighty licks with some broken sticks, and many of us in this world are broken. Realizing that with tolerance, we are minimizing the humanity of others. Realize that with tolerance, you're making a powerfully silent commentary on the worth of others. So on June 22nd, June 23rd, I want you to show up. I want you to show out. I want you to have a presence. I want you to be the ally, be a member of the community, but I want you to remember to live your life with pride. Thank you very much.